Welcome back to episode 2 of the Win Back Worker series. Another question I've been getting asked from time to time is, why are all those people who have been working remotely during the pandemic not want to go back to work? Well, there's a number of reasons. You may remember from the first video, I talked about the Great Awakening. I think that Great Awakening of having time to reflect on your life not only affected some people in that they resigned their job, it also caused other people to reflect on the situation at the job that they really enjoy, but just now they've been doing it a little differently for a year and a half now, and some of that they really enjoy. One of the things that is impacting people is childcare. Of course, we know that we've got, remote learning for a lot of kids, and schools open up and then they close again and then they open up. And there are a lot of businesses that have closed their doors permanently. And some of those are child care facilities. And so child care arrangements have been more difficult. So one of the reasons people are saying, I don't really want to go back into the office is the fact that, I've got issues around child care that I have not yet been able to resolve. People really want to retain the flexibility of their job. I mentioned the slow burn of discontent that results in burnout from the do more with less in less time thing. A lot of these people that are burned out realize that, this whole working from home thing doesn't burn me out quite as much as getting in the car, getting on public transportation, making that trek to the office, working all day long, having lots of distractions from other workers, and then making the trek home. Basically, I'm getting just as much done here from home. So the company is getting as much from me as they were before, maybe even more. And you know what? There's not quite as much stress on my life. And I think maybe I want to retain a little bit of that. I'm not ready to go back to that old grind that I was involved in before. Then there's safety issues. And it's not just safety. What things have companies put in place to keep me safe when I get there? I've got to get there. So especially for people who are taking, public transportation, it becomes an issue on the trip and when they get to work. Then there's the whole workplace issue. Let's face it, with all these people who have left, some people are saying to themselves, when I go back, if I ever do go back, my team has changed completely. We've got lots of new members. This whole pandemic thing has really been stressing me out, and I just don't feel up to doing all the meet and greet and socializing and meeting new people and absorbing them onto the team. If we can do some of that remotely, that's great, but I don't feel in the mood to do all of that. And then, of course, there's how has the workplace changed? What are they going to be doing? What is the company going to be requiring of me different now that they're adjusting to all of this? And so that's another one of the concerns. There are people that have new pet responsibilities. An awful lot of people got pets, especially people who were single, living alone, kind of in a way trapped in their houses, and they got new pets and they're going, I haven't figured out what the heck am I going to do with my pet if in fact I start going back to the office. People also started side hustles. Whether the side hustle was to make a couple additional dollars to make things easier in paying the bills, or whether it was just that they had a little bit of time. Let's face it, the time going back and forth to work now they had. So they had a few more hours in the day to do something else, and they got engaged in a side hustle, not really for money, just because it was something that they enjoyed. And they don't really want to give that up. Kind of don't blame them. And then there's the whole burnout syndrome. I'm sure you've heard it on the news that there is more PTSD, anxiety, depression, stress and more people are seeking help. I know people who are seeking help and they can't hardly find anybody to help them because most of the doctors and therapists are saying, I'm not taking on new patients, probably because they're stressed out also. But they've got that issue, and so going back into the office is kind of even ramping that up to another level. And then the last one is that there are people who have unfortunately established some new bad habits, whether they be alcohol, drugs, or things like that, and now they are in recovery from those. And maybe what they're doing in recovery doesn't really allow for them to go back into the office. So there are a lot of reasons that people, legitimate reasons, that people are sharing that, you know what, I'm kind of digging this lifestyle that I've got right now for a number of reasons, and give me a convincing argument that I can't continue to do this job remotely at least half of the time. You know, I realize that some companies are going to say we need from time to time to get back together face to face, and I completely agree with that. But they're going to have to be more flexible with that mandate of how many days they're in the office, how many days they work remotely to accommodate some of these people or those people. If you say, hey, I'm sorry, you can't work remotely at all anymore, and some of these people have been through the Great Awakening, awakened to the fact that they love working from home, and there's all kinds of benefits, and not willing to give them up, then those companies are going to lose those employees and are going to go somewhere else where that company will accommodate that schedule. So kind of a word to those of you who are wondering, why are some of my teammates not returning to the workplace? And for companies, why are people not wanting to come back? There you are. So I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Please share it with anybody else who you feel would really benefit by it. Thanks again for watching. Till next time, stay cool, have good thoughts. See ya.